Hey everyone, the Collector 27 here, coming at you guys with another action figure review. After a very long time, I'm finally back and will hopefully be doing more reviews. But today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Integrated Suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's take a look. Alright, so for accessories, he comes with 4 interchangeable pairs of hands, 2 webs for when he's shooting webs, with the whipping hands, and he comes with this little piece right here, which is a little back kind of that back port for when you use an SH Figuarts stand. I'll show off all of this stuff in a minute. We'll put it on Spider-Man and we'll interchange the accessories. He also comes with this piece for, I guess, the eyes and for picking off that back piece on him to replace it with a little peg that he comes with. Or I don't know what you'd call this, but yeah, it's like a peg. But yeah, he comes with this. It just has some writing and some numbers on it. We've seen that before. He comes with a pair of fisted hands for both the right and left. He comes with a pair of whipping hands. Again, these are all for both right and left. He comes with a web holding hand. Kind of looks like a thumbs up a little bit if you really see it like that. And then he comes with a pair of open, splayed out hands, or wall crawling / landing kind of hands. But the only problem is, I think, with the web grabbing hands is that he doesn't come with any webs. And not to say that the SH Figuarts webs are the greatest, because they're not. They always look a tad strange. But I think it's odd to include an accessory or a set of hands for him when he doesn't really come with any webs. So that's a bit strange to me. But here, let's bring him back in here and we'll show off these accessories and we'll put it on him. So let's see, let me just fix the camera here. There we go. We'll get it more eyesight with him. Alright, so we'll bring him back in here. So let's see, first of all, let's show off. One thing that's a little bit odd is the fact that he actually has the eye-changing gimmick where you can take out the eyes. Let's see, I don't know if you can see it there. But inside, I don't know if you can really see, but there are the eye ports right there. And you use this tool and you'll just have to push down on them from the inside and then the eyes pop out and you would replace them. Ooh, that is horrifying. Anyway, let's put that back in there. But he doesn't come with any other extra eyes, which is kind of okay in my opinion because I've never really been a fan of the excuse me, of the eye changing gimmick. I think that brands like Mafex, where they just give an alternate head where he has the squinting eyes or the instant kill eyes or anything like that, I think that's always been better. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you like the eye changing gimmick? I guess it's kind of neat if you want to mix and match the eyes to kind of get like that glitch or malfunction type of look, where you have like one eye squinting and one eye open, or like it makes it look like he's winking. So I guess it's okay for maybe for some ACBA photography to get that more expressions. But in my opinion, I am not really a big fan of the eye-changing gimmick. I think it's kind of useless and kind of a waste of time. I'd rather just get alternate heads. Plus, dealing with those real tiny parts is always a pain. But anyway, enough of my tangent going on about the eye-changing gimmick. Anyway, but one thing I do know is that the reason he doesn't come with the additional eyes is because he is supposed to kind of be paired up with the black and gold suit from SH Figuarts, and that one has interchangeable eyes as well and comes with those extra eye pieces. And so I guess Bandai's plan was for you or for us to buy both and to have those eyes be interchangeable and to accomplish that. But I don't think that's really cool in the fact that this This figure is cheaper in comparison to other SH Figuarts Spider-Man figures, but at the same time, I feel like it's just a bit of a rip-off in a way. I mean, okay, so in Japan, this guy would be worth about, uh, I don't know, I think it's $30 in Japan if you're over there, because this is a Japanese release. But over here in the United States or anywhere else, I believe it's going to range from about 60 to 80 USD, right? So I think for $60 to $80, it should come with more, you know. Um, but anyway, let's get some hands on him. It's kind of weird looking at him with no hands. So let's see. I think we'll put the fisted hands on first, and they're real easy to pop on. All of them were real easy to pop on right out of package. They just pop on right onto the ball peg. It's a standard um, ball joint for the SH Figuarts figures that we've seen with many of them before, but it's really easy to pop on, as it is with all the hands. So that's one fist, and then we'll put on let's put on a thwipping hand. And again, they're real easy to pop on. They just go on real easy, and there you go. You have them thwipping now. One issue that I will point out now before we get into articulation is with these gauntlets. Not only are they inaccurate to the film, which we'll go over some of the other details that are also inaccurate to the film, but this one kind of frustrates me because these gauntlets get in the way of being able to put this web on and then being able to put the hand on, because you don't have much space in between the gauntlet, the ball joint, and the hand to put this on, then put the hand on, and it feels really, really tight. Like, it goes on right there, but that's also not on completely. um, and it feels like it pops off easier, and of course as it's on camera it doesn't pop off that easy, but in times in the past it feels like it's popped off a lot easier than it actually is supposed to. So that's kind of a gripe of mine, is these gauntlets. They just really get in the way. I'm not even going to attempt to put on the other thwipping hand and web with the gauntlet on, because for whatever reason on my figure, the right one does not want to go on, with the web at least. So every time I put this web onto this hand, the thwipping hand will not go on. It just pops off all the time. So that's a gripe of mine. It's not because it's loose, but it's just because of that gauntlet. There's just not enough space in between there to get the hand and the web on there successfully. So other than that, I mean, visually, it looks good. So those are the majority of the accessories. Again, let's see. Let's get one of those web grabbing hands on here. I don't know what these are for, because you can see that there's a hole right there in between the fingers to grab a web, but he does not come with any webs, like any swinging web. So this is like a hand made for swinging or pulling a web, and he doesn't come with any. So that's a little bit odd and a little bit disappointing, but I guess you could also just replace those little faults here and there. You could just buy some custom made 1/12 scale webbing on eBay or Etsy or something, and then like bendy webs or spaghetti webs, all those different guys who make them out there, and then you could just have a good Spider-Man figure with some good posable webs. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the accessories. Oh, I was going to show off the back port right here. Right in the spider, in this area right above my finger, there is that back port, and you would just use this tool to somehow get under there and pry it out, but I cannot seem to get it. I don't know why, but I just can't seem to get it underneath. Yeah, I just can't seem to pull it out, which is not a big deal, because I honestly never use these with any of my figures. I know that the Iron Man figures, some of them have come with this. The Spider-Man figures have come with it. I personally have never used it before. just because that's not how I display my figures, with a hole in the back. So I would keep this on either way. Even if this wasn't an option, I would have been okay with it. Um, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you like this little gimmick that they put in there where you could replace it and put this back pig in, so you could just have them on a stand? I guess it's kind of neat, but again, out of personal preference, that's not how I pose my figures. But that's it for accessories. So let's get into the details and then articulation. All right. So for the details on this figure, the paint applications on mine came out very, very clean, and I'm very happy about that. Let's see, the eyes came out clean, which is always good, just because you know, painting white on a black plastic is always difficult, but overall they came out very, very clean, so that makes me happy. Even the cobwebbing on his chest and back and head, that came out really well as well. It's a very, very light shading, but it's always nice seeing that there. The bottom of the feet are painted, which is a very cool detail. um, the gold came out very clean. Even the gauntlets came out very clean. um, Overall, everything is just very clean in terms of paint detailing. Now, in terms of movie accuracy, that's a different story. Uh, just because, yeah, I mean, I guess they got this figure, or they made this figure based off of promotional concept art, just because the color scheme is slightly off. Aside from the slight difference in red right here near the butterfly joint and the chest, um, this is like a blue kind of color. And I mean, to me, the suit looks nice, but it's not 100% accurate to what we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, because as we know, and I don't think it's a spoiler alert by now because I'm making this video finally in March 2022. But as we know, in Spider-Man No Way Home, um, Peter wears the Iron Spider suit to fight Doc Ock. It gets slightly damaged, and so some of the nanotech ends up going onto Doc Ock's extendable arms. And then eventually, when he helps Doc Ock with the chip in his neck to revert him back to normal, so he's no longer being controlled by the arms, he extends his arm out to give Peter the rest of the nanotech over his upgrade suit that we saw in Far From Home, the red and black suit, and it just creates this gold spider logo over it. So that's why it's an integrated suit, because it's like partially Iron Spider suit and partially his upgrade suit. However, I know some brands, including even Hot Toys, I guess base their figure off the concept art, where this is like a dark, almost like navy blue instead of the black. There's additional detailing throughout it that was not seen on the Far From Home suit. Even the gloves are where the hands are. Um, and I'll pull out the Marvel Legends Far From Home suit right now, and we'll do a comparison real quick. So let me just grab that real quick, just so it makes this video easier. All right, so here I have the Marvel Legends Far From Home upgrade suit Spider-Man. I was gonna bring this out later on in a comparison for like size comparison, but just for detailing, I wanted to kind of explain something that I don't think I've seen anyone else explain. I've seen everyone say some good things about this figure, which is it is a really good figure. But the only reason I have mixed emotions over it is just because, like I was explaining previously, this integrated suit is supposed to literally just be this Far From Home suit with a gold logo that got placed on him. That gold spider logo got placed on him by Doc Ock's extendable arm when he was giving Peter the rest of the nanotech back. And that's why we call it the integrated suit. As I was saying, it's literally like a blend of the Iron Spider suit and this Far From Home upgrade suit. And what I was explaining about the gloves is like this Marvel Legend is accurate to the movie. This is the first version, by the way, from Far From Home. This isn't the Walmart exclusive. This is the uh, 2-pack Iron Spider and Iron Man head sculpt, Peter Parker head sculpt from the Infinity War 2-pack, um, on the first Far From Home body. But anyway, the gloves on this one right here are black with red at the end, and the suit is all black, or this black color with the red, right? And it's that simple. And so that's what this integrated suit was supposed to be. It was supposed to be this suit right here with just a gold spider emblem over it. And where um not and I'm not just calling out Bandai, Tamashii Nations, SH Figuarts here. Um, just because I know Hot Toys also had the same thing. The same problem is I think they based their figures off of early concept art and maybe even early CGI, just because we know that in the movie making process there are reshoots almost all the way until the almost like the month before, even down to the week before a film comes out, especially if it's just CGI. So for all we know, this could have been the suit we were going to see in uh, in Spider-Man: No Way Home, but then last minute they might have just changed it to be this suit with just a gold emblem over it. And so um, I wouldn't be surprised, just because we've seen um, Bandai re-release a character or a suit like the Iron Spider suit when they did it for Infinity War. It was inaccurate. It wasn't metallic. The extendable legs looked terrible, and so they released the Endgame version, which was a huge upgrade over it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up re-releasing this guy right here, um, sometime down the line in the next like 6 months, um, with an accurate color scheme, accurate forearms and glove area, and so that's why this figure is not bad. It's just not very accurate, because it is supposed to be just this suit right here. Oh, whoops! This guy keeps falling. My bad. It's supposed to be just this suit right here with a gold emblem over it, and so that's one thing. We'll get him out of here. That's one thing I just haven't seen a lot of people mention. So I thought I'd bring that up in this video, just because, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of people mention it. But now we can get into the articulation, which is a very good highlight of this figure, is its articulation. It's a very fun figure to pose, just because of how posable it is. I feel like this is the most posable SH Figuarts Spider-Man we've seen in a while, if not ever. And I have a few SH Figuarts Spider-Man, and I've had a few here and there, and then I've also skipped out on some just because I didn't like them, like the Far From Home upgrade suit, and even the I guess like stealth suit, the Night Monkey suit. I skipped out on those just because I didn't like them, and I heard that they were not super articulated, from some other reviewers I saw. But this figure right here, if there's anything that motivated me to buy it most, was the fact that it was very articulated. They fixed problems in the shoulders that we've had with previous figures, and it's visually appealing too, because there's no joints out there that are like super ugly or like popping out or very noticeable, and yet he's very articulate. So we'll start up at the top. The head is on a ball joint at the head area and the base of the neck, so he can look up about that much. One thing I will say is that when I did get this figure, um, this dumbbell joint right here in the neck, it's at a curve, so it kind of bends backward like this. It goes backward, but it was facing forward, so he was actually looking down more than he was able to look up. So just be mindful on yours. You might need to rotate that around and then put the head back on. That way he can get his motion where he almost looks all the way up, which is quite impressive. And then he can also look down a ton too. Obviously his neck, with that double ball joint and dumbbell joint, you get that really good neck pivot, which is great for a lot of expressions. You get the butterfly joints, you get the shoulders that go about, let's see, they go out. So this is the part that I was saying that they fixed. Is that before you didn't really have this additional space right here, so you would only probably be able to bring his arm out about that much. But since they re-engineered it just a little bit, you could push it down and bring it up even more. So now you could get his arm out very, very far, which is really nice considering a Spider-Man figure should be highly articulated. He has a um, bicep swivel. One thing that's kind of interesting too is that this kind of like shell piece right here for his shoulder that covers the joint, it also rotates. I don't think that really counts as articulation. I just think that that's meant to cover up like that metal pin right there, so there could be more space there, or so it could fill in that space there. He also has double jointed elbows, which bend in very, very far, almost over a complete 90 degrees, which is great. It almost touches his own shoulder with his hand. And then obviously with the hand, you can move him down, and then it's on a ball joint, so you can swivel it around so it could be side to side or that up and down motion. The only downside is these gauntlets, which um, you can actually remove. So if you wanted to have this figure be a little bit more articulated, you can actually pop them off. Let's see, I'm just shaking the whole place here, and remove the gauntlets, and then pop in that joint again, and then pop the hands in again. Let's see, there we go. And you have a lot more motion with those hands. The only downside is that it is showing that ball joint. That's not very hidden, but you can take off these gauntlets. It's completely painted through underneath, which is very nice, considering they could have just, like we've seen it before with other brands of other figures, like they put a gap and it's like weirdly sculpted underneath a gauntlet. But this one actually just overlays right over the forearm and wrist area. So if you really wanted to and you didn't like these gauntlets, you could move them out of the way and he could have a lot more articulation there, which would also, in hindsight, help with the problem I was talking about, the webs, where now you can put it on there and then you could just see. Oops. Let's see. These always give me trouble either way, so bear with me. Come on. Anyway. There we go. Okay, anyway, I feel like I was going to break it for a second, but we're all good. But it does help in the fact that now you can have those webs there, and you can have him thwipping and have more movement going on there, because you couldn't get this movement before with the gauntlet on, so that's nice. Let's pop that off. I'm going to put his fist back on, and I'll leave the gauntlet off for the rest of this portion of the review. For the articulation anyway. But it also doesn't look that bad, in my opinion. I mean, sure, the ball joint could be covered up just a little bit more. That's one thing that's good about the gauntlet, is that it covers up that ball joint, just because that is very noticeable, since that everything else is textured, which is a very cool thing about this suit and this figure, is that there is a lot of texture on this figure, which is it feels very nice. It's a good figure to feel and hold, because it has this kind of like mesh texture over it, which is really neat considering it's plastic. So it does feel almost like it could be a cloth. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I like the way it feels. One downside about, at least on my figure, is with the left arm, the double joint elbow works a lot better now. It was so tight at first when I got it that it was like making this squeaking noise. This joint was smooth, but the top joint right here, going into the top kind of bicep area of the arm, right where the elbow is, it was really tight and it just wouldn't move. It still squeaks a little bit. I'm not sure if it's being picked up through the audio, but it was really scary at first, especially considering you can take it off, and this peg right here is really, really thin, and so is this area here, because this is a small figure. So that kind of scared me at first, because I thought I was going to break it, and breaking a $70+ figure is not fun. But anyway, let's see. So for the ab crunch, you get a mid-torso cut, and then you get a waist cut as well, and together that can bend forward about this much, which is really impressive. um, and I like that they even went so far to fill the gap in the back, um, and to have that area be filled as much as possible so that we didn't have this ugly gap there. Um, all these are connected by ball joints in the torso, which is nice. Um, for the legs, one thing that has always been a gripe of mine, but I've kind of lessened up on the gripes of it, is the waist and thigh area for Spider-Man and other SH Figuarts when they have um, this weird. It's mostly on Spider-Man, almost like it's butt cheek articulation, just because this part moves and it feels so unnecessary. Like I feel like with the same engineering of a drop down hinge and removing this weird panel piece, if this was just a drop down hinge that could move up, I feel like we'd get the same amount of articulation as we do with this piece there, and no drop down hinge, because it only moves up that far, which is a little over a 90-degree angle from his torso being straight, um, which is good articulation, but I feel like this part is kind of over engineered with this additional like shell piece going on right here. So that's just one thing that's a gripe of mine that I just don't like with these Spider-Man figures. Another thing he has is a thigh cut and swivel right there, and it moves pretty well, so it gets the job done. So on both sides, it's a little tight, but moves pretty well. He also has double jointed knees, which bend in about that much. He can't kick his butt, but it does bend more than 90 degrees, so that's always nice and gets good for a good jumping, crouching, or ready to kick position. He also has a kind of ball joint down at the foot, so his ankle will move up that far, it'll move down, and then he does have wonderful ankle pivot. It also rotates back and forth, and he has some good toe articulation as well. So there we go, that is it for the articulation. And now we'll get into some size comparisons and some final thoughts. Alright, so for comparison, here we have the SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame Final Battle Edition Iron Spider. Let's see, can I get him to stand? Come on, stand. Alright, there we go. And then we also have the Marvel Legends Far From Home Upgrade Suit Spider-Man with the Infinity War Iron Spider 2-pack Peter Parker head sculpt. So let's get these guys a little bit more centered. Let's see, stand up straight. So the last gripe that I really have with this SH Figuarts Integrated Suit Spider-Man is the fact that he just feels really small. Even compared to the Iron Spider, the Iron Spider suit seems to just be a tad taller than he is, which I guess might be okay or a little bit more acceptable considering he's wearing an armored suit over him, but also it's supposed to be nanotech, so it's supposed to be thinner and a little bit more like a cloth type of thinness to it. So I don't really know, but I feel like he's also a little bit too scrawny too. I feel like he should have been a little bit more bulky, just a tad, just because this is Tom Holland's third movie as Spider-Man, and we've seen him just age, mature, and now he's becoming more of an like into his adulthood, I guess you could say. So the last thing I also wanted to mention was the fact that if you really wanted to, you can use the eyes from the Iron Spider figure on the integrated suit, but they just have a slight like baby blue tint to them. But they are the same shape, so I guess if that doesn't bother you, you can use them on the integrated suit. I'm not going to do it just because I don't like taking out those eyes, as I've mentioned. Another thing you can do is with the Iron Spider suit, there was the included webs like this, which you can use if you have this integrated suit and the Iron Spider suit because, like I said, there are web grabbing hands. You can just put the web into the hand, and then there you go. You have him holding a web like he's going to swing on a web or something, or pulling something with a web. So that's pretty neat, I guess. You can use previous accessories like that, but I feel like he still should have come with some of his own webs. Most likely, I'm gonna actually go probably on eBay and buy some bendy webs or custom-made 1/12 scale Spider-Man webs. So anyway, let's get these guys out of here. There we go. All in all, I think this figure is a really cool figure. I think it's a must-have if you're a die-hard Spider-Man fan. But if you are patient enough, if it really bothers you the inaccuracies of the suit that I pointed out here, then I'm sure you can just wait, and I guarantee that Bandai, Tamashii Nations, SH Figuarts, they'll release a second version somewhere down the line within the next probably 6 months to a year of this suit, but 100% accurate with the accurate forearms and the accurate gloves and accurate color scheme. They might even have to do a complete retooling of it like we saw with the Infinity War and Endgame Iron Spider, of how they completely just redid that. But overall, I think this is a great figure. I would still recommend it. It's very, very fun to pose. So I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Almost 8 out of 10, but because I just really like this figure. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and also on TikTok. Yes, I made a TikTok. Have I posted anything on there? Nope, not since August of 2021. Because, to be honest, I really don't like TikTok all that much. But if you're on there, go ahead, follow me. I might surprise you all one of these days and just post something on there randomly. Still trying to figure that out. But make sure you go follow me on Instagram. I'll put it up somewhere around here. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. But thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Peace.